I'm Chef Mike Moses. Welcome to my kitchen, and welcome to a place where I can help you cook better, eat healthier, and shop smarter. One of the things I like to do in terms of shopping smarter is buying in bulk. So I'll go to the local big box store. You have those in your neighborhood possibly, and I bought some chicken thighs. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with 48 chicken thighs, but got them at a great price, split them up, froze some of them. I can make soup, but today we're going to make butter chicken. I've got all the details coming up. Murgh Makhani, or Indian butter chicken. That's what we're going to make today. And it's really easy to make. And there's a couple of small things you need to pay attention to. Other than that, you can have it all the time. So let's get our Murgh Makhani going. I'm going to start off making our butter chicken sauce. Let's get our mise en place ready to go. There's a few very important steps when you're making your butter chicken to start off. One is you have to grate your ginger, because if you chop it and then you use your immersion blender, smoothing out the sauce and everything, you're going to get strands of ginger. Not very appetizing. Also, the garlic has to be crushed. We use our garlic press for that, and our onion as well. So we want a medium onion, and we want to chop that up into fine pieces. It's 1/2. We'll put that in our bowl. All right, there's our onion. And the good thing about the butter chicken is the seasonings. There is a lot of spices in this that are really, really tasty and really good for you. Garam masala, coriander, cumin. Now we need about 4 teaspoons of ginger. And we'll get our grater out, my microplane, and then I'll just start grating the ginger. It's gonna take forever with this one. So I'll get out the good one. What I want here is to get rid of those fibers that are present in the ginger. A lot of my fibers got saved there. That's about 2.5 teaspoons of ginger. There. All those fibers that show up, those will not go in the ginger. Ha. Let's go with that. First time I made butter chicken, and I had the ginger all ready to go. I buzzed it with my immersion blender, and there were all kinds of fibers. I want 5 cloves of garlic. Take the ends off and makes them easier to get out of the shell, so to speak. These are fresh hard-neck garlics that I just planted, probably about 30 of them in the garden. Once your fingers get sticky with garlic juice, they remain sticky for quite a while. And I'll show you how to clean those off in a moment. I got a little trick for cleaning garlic juice off your fingers. And it really does work, which is... Whenever I hear the phrase hack or trick or workaround, just especially the word hack. I don't believe in kitchen hacks. I think they're kitchen gadgets that will help you do what you need to do in the kitchen. Do not ask me why or how it works scientifically. I have no idea. I just washed my hands with the stainless steel. Looks like a piece of stainless steel soap, and it worked phenomenal. No garlic smell on my fingers. And let's do our cloves of garlic. I do not ever want to waste garlic. I need a serrano pepper, however, I don't have one. What I do have is a ripe jalapeno though. That just came out of my garden. And I'm just gonna chop it up gently, the little bits and pieces, and we'll add that to our butter chicken as well. I looked for a serrano pepper the other day at the grocery store. I couldn't find one. So I'm not too concerned. I know serrano peppers add the flavor. However, I'm adventurous, and the beauty of cooking is called improvising. And I'll just throw this in with the garlic or the onions because they're all going to go into the same pot at the same time. Okay, now that's it for the chopping portion. Now it's time to put this butter sauce together, and we're going to use unsalted butter, and we're going to use some of those spices, and I'll have all the measurements for you in just one moment. All right, let's get our butter sauce going for our butter chicken. We'll turn the heat up to medium high just so I can get some butter going here. And I've got 2 tablespoons of butter I'm going to pop in right away. Unsalted butter, please. Make sure I get all the tin foil off it. I tend to do that a lot. The reason I do is because that's where the markings are, on the tin foil. So I just cut through the tin foil and everything and right into the butter. We get that butter in there. And we'll sweat down our onions, our ginger and garlic. And we want to actually get some brown on those onions too. Some of the other spices you're going to need. You're going to need a tablespoon of garam masala, a teaspoon of ground coriander. You're going to need a half a teaspoon of ground cumin and a half a teaspoon of pepper. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of sugar. And we're going to need, of course, a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of tomato paste, 1.5 cups of water, and hope and a prayer. And that will get us our butter sauce going. We're going to add about 1/2 cup of cream as well, but we're not going to put that on the heat. We're going to do that after we have all the flavors and spices and everything all developed. And I'm going to add my onions and my pepper. And I do have a sizzle state. Swing this pot around. So now I am sauteing the onions and the pepper in butter. What could be better? This is going to take anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, depending upon how thinly you sliced your onions. We want them translucent, but we also want a little bit of char on them. One of the secrets to this butter chicken is char. The chicken prepared to go under the broiler. Since I don't have a tandoori in my backyard, we are going to try to duplicate the type of char you would get in frying chicken and cooking your chicken under extremely high temperatures. About 4 minutes have passed. My onions are now translucent, and it's time to add the garlic and the ginger. Get that all incorporated. Get some, smells so good. Get some sizzling going on here. Now remember, this is our sauce. So what we're going to do with this is actually incorporate everything that we need, and then we're going to use my immersion blender, and we're going to blend it down into a nice, smooth sauce. Things are going to start happening really fast now. You can see it's turning a gorgeous color. All right, let's add our spices. Let's go with the garam masala first. Cumin, coriander, and pepper. And now we have a very intense flavor coming through there. I'm going to add my sugar yet. If I add my sugar now, it's going to burn. So I'm going to add my sugar once I add the water and the tomato paste. All right, now I've got some char on the onions, and you can see this is what it looks like. And what it smells like, I wish you could smell. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Anyhow, now I'm going to deglaze pan with a cup and a half of water. Going to add my sugar. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of salt. Make sure I get all the bits off the bottom. Now I need a half a cup of tomato paste. And this is the easiest way I have found to get tomato paste out of a can. Normally I would make my own, but hey, if I can buy it in a can, why not? So let Mother Nature and gravity do its thing. Just make sure you get the top. Just like that. And that is a half a cup of tomato paste. Stir it around until all the lumps are gone. Really nice, rich, dark red color. We're going to change that when we add the cream. I'm going to bring that up to a boil. I'm going to take it off the heat. We're going to add our 1 cup of heavy cream. Mix it around a little. And now you see it's got that, starting to take on that orange color. But it really gets orangey and buttery here in just a moment. All right, now that we've added our cream, we'll also add the remaining 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'll just let that melt before we use the immersion blender. Now we want our buttered chicken sauce to be silky smooth. And the way we do that is with an immersion blender. You can also put it in a regular blender if you like. One thing to be very careful is these sides will shoot out liquid. And it is still hot. So put our immersion blender in. The true test is to taste it, right? Smooth, buttery, garlicky. I can taste all those spices. Now this will keep in the fridge up to 4 days if you didn't want to prepare your chicken right away. Just put it in the fridge and then haul it out and reheat it. In this case, we're going to put it back on the stove. Part 1 is done. Now we're going to do the chicken. Now that we've got the butter sauce made, it's time to get the chicken done. And the way we're going to do the chicken, we don't have a tandoori like I said, so we can't heat it up over high heat really quickly. So we're going to use the broiler in the oven. And I want about 2 pounds of chicken thighs trimmed. What I mean by trimmed is when you buy your chicken thighs, they do come with some fat on them. I want that fat taken off. That's all there is to trim it. So that's 1. That's probably about a half a pound. Make sure I get the big chunks of fat off, which is what I'm doing. And that's it. That's all you need to trim off, just a little bit like that. So now we have 2 pounds of chicken thighs. In these chicken thighs, we want some salt. And the reason we want salt is because you always season your meat. Always season meat. I'm gonna wash my hands. Always season our meat. All right, hands are clean. Always season our meat. Now, if I can get it open, I want just about a half a cup of Greek yogurt. That should do it. And I just want to get that on the chicken thighs. All over the chicken thighs. Make them nice and happy. This adds a nice fat content to it. And it also helps when we slap it under that broiler. So every chicken thigh gets coated. Make sure they're coated really well. And because I have a large oven, I'm going to put them on a rack and let them brown up when we go to the broiler. So we'll take each chicken thigh, lay it out. So I'm going to stick these 5 chicken thighs underneath a broiler, and I'll show you what they look like in a couple of moments. I'd show you my oven, but I haven't cleaned it yet, so I do apologize. So our chicken's been under the broiler for about 5 minutes. That's 500 degrees or so. And you can see I've got this nice char, and that's the secret of buttered chicken. It's the char you get on the onions, the char you get on the chicken. And we're just going to turn these bad boys over, and I'm going to let them go in the oven again for another probably 5 to 12 minutes. I want the internal temperature to be 175 degrees. All right, back into the oven. Okay, chicken thighs are out of the oven. Let's check the temp one more time here. Our chicken thighs are cooked perfectly, nice and crispy. They have a gorgeous coating of flavor on them. And what I'm going to do is let these cool down, then we'll cut them up, add them to our butter sauce, and then we'll serve up the buttered chicken. Now, for the rice, we're going to use basmati rice, naturally, of course. So I've got basmati rice already in the rice cooker, and after these cool down for about 10 minutes or so, we'll cut them up, add them to the buttered chicken sauce, and then we'll plate it up. Okay, so the chicken has cooled down. Now we're going to cut it into bite-sized pieces that we're going to put right directly into the buttered chicken sauce, which has been warming up. A nice crispy, about half-inch slices, and then right to the middle. Why do I try shortcuts, right? Got all those flavors. We have those caramelized onions. We have the caramelized chicken. We have the coriander, the Gran Marsala. All those flavors are melding together right now. Getting ready to go on that belly. So put the chicken in. Give it a stir in that butter sauce. All right, let's put this on the plate. First of all, we need some cilantro. I mean, we've got the coriander, we've got the cumin. Let's do up some cilantro. Stems and all, stems are the best piece. So I've got my rice, and this has been in the rice cooker. We're gonna put this right in the middle. Comes out in a nice little mound. And then our butter chicken. Right on top. Put some cilantro on there. And any extra cilantro you can always put in the pot for butter chicken. And I've got some naan bread. I'm just going to decorate the plate with it, because you can use your fingers to eat the buttered chicken. And there, butter chicken for you on the weekend. A simple meal, your family will love it, and it's very flavorful. It's not hot. It's got a lot of great spice flavors for it, and with the naan bread, you don't even need to use a fork. Just pick up some rice and some butter chicken with your naan. Let's do a dip here. I'm going to have a good supper. Oh, lots of flavor. If you want this recipe, just pop over to the website, www.chefmikemoses.com. I'll have it there for you. Enjoy. For more information on this recipe, head over to my website, www.chefmikemoses.com. You'll find I have a blog there with recipes you can print off, and my new podcast with some interesting guests, and of course, some thoughts from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm here to help you cook better, eat healthier, and shop smarter.